All right, we're about to get into it again. We got Dusty. We're about to sit down. We're going to talk about all things business, marketing, everything from the hunting side to the cattle side and all the beef sales and how you can get some. Let's get it. Types of beef, right? Like the cow, there's different breeds of cows, and then they have certain genetics that they're in there.
I mean, we have the Akaushi, but then we have the registered SimBraw and SimAngus, and then we have commercial cattle.
And y'all sell all that?
Yeah, we sell. Yeah, we kind of do different things with everything. So
you sell cattle, and you also sell beef. So if somebody wanted cattle or wanted to get into this business.
Yes, we have people. We just shipped 80 head of heifers to Mississippi.
Wow.
So.
Like nothing. Just like load them up.
Yeah.
Send them down the road.
So it was, I think, bred heifers. So.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're looking for a replacement or anything, you know, cattle-wise, we've got bulls, we've got heifers, we've got, you know, older cows.
Yeah. And this isn't something that you guys tiptoed into last year. Like this is something that's been ongoing for years, right?
They started this in 2011 whenever they bought the place. They started out with Angus.
Okay.
And then we've shifted to the SimBraw, and now we've kind of some of our genetics have kind of went more into SimAngus now.
Okay.
So
what is the difference between the Angus and SimBraw? Is it just a breed?
I don't know why they decided to. I think what they had the Angus cows, and then they were buying the SimBraw bulls, and they were breeding.
Because I know people ask for it.
I don't know. I wasn't here for the Angus part.
Okay.
And so I just know we shifted from Angus to SimBraw, and now it's more SimAngus.
Okay.
Because once you start breeding those SimAngus bulls to the SimBraw cows, you start breeding out some of that Brahman.
Okay.
So if you, like on our registration papers and stuff like that, if you look, like a lot of them are classifying as SimAngus now.
Okay. And then is it Texas Wagyu?
We call it, so the Texas, it's Wagyu. And if it's 100%, they refer to it as Wagyu.
Okay.
But once I started kind of looking up places and things like that, here in Texas, a lot of it is 50%. And that's how they're referring to it, is Texas Wagyu. So,
at only 50%?
Yes.
And we're doing more than 50%?
Well, ours is verified at 50%.
Okay.
I think he did breed some. We have a batch that's bred that will be a higher percentage of the Akaushi.
Yeah.
So, and the Akaushi is Wagyu.
Yeah. And that was going to be my next question, because people say that word too, and I'm like, I think it's the same, but don't get me lying,
No, Akaushi is just like another strain of the Wagyu cattle.
And you're not only dealing with just the cattle side of the house too, you're having to manage a lot of this hunting operation too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and the lodging.
Yes.
And meals, when people want meals, and they want, some people just come to eat, right? Because everybody loves chef's food.
Yes. Like we have a Christmas party next week. And they're coming for a steak lunch. They're bringing, it's the place that we do all of our embroidery and screen printing.
Oh, okay.
They're bringing their employees out and
that's another thing that you're involved in too, right? With all the merchandise, the shirts, the hoodies, the hats, everything.
Yes. Everything.
It sounds like a lot. It seems like a lot.
It is.
but it's all good.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'd rather stay busy than be sitting here without anything to do.
Yeah, for sure. And we keep getting busier.
Yes.
It seems.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think, and social media helps, right? Because it's just, we're evolving. People are evolving. We're hitting a different audience than we used to here locally and in Texas. Now we're getting people from all other states coming in and wanting to be a part of this and see it. And I think I think it was Jason, said that they had shipped steaks out already to like 5-6 different states, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe more. You probably know more about that than I do.
I ship out, like yesterday, I shipped out several boxes to Missouri. That was for Colette. California, we send a lot to California because they have a lot of friends in California. Florida.
Wow.
We had somebody from Mississippi coming by, some ground beef. I can't remember how many pounds it was, but they were starting a food truck and serving burgers. And so they bought our hamburger meat.
Which is like steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
it's
steak
good.
hamburgers.
It's good,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I could imagine wanting to do to have a food truck. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
So we told them they were just getting started, and so I said, once you kind of have an idea of how much you're going to be going through, then we can, keep y'all stocked up.
Yeah, for sure. And that's so say someone wanted to order a cow. What does that process look like? Or
So-
half a cow or a quarter or however.
So they usually just contact me. I kind of have an estimate. I know an estimate of how much it's going to cost, and so I can give them an estimate. We don't really know until it gets processed. So they just pay for the calf, and then they have to pay the processing on it.
Which isn't much, and that's all vacuum sealed, separated by stakes, and however you want it done.
Yes. If they buy a whole, half, quarter, anything like that, they get to choose their cuts.
Yeah.
We have our standard stuff that we have done here, but if they want to buy a whole, half, or quarter, then they can have it cut how they want to.
And then y'all have steaks here in the lodge, or not even just steaks, all
We have
kinds of
everything.
stuff.
We
Yeah,
have
because hunters walk out of here with stuff
Yes.
all the time. Just
Yes.
after they get done eating dinner, they're like, I want some.
Yes.
Well, then, and we just shuffle them right over here to the freezer.
We had a big group coming, so everybody wanted something.
Yeah.
And so I was bagging all that up for them.
Yeah, which is good. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff, they're out here, and Jason had mentioned this too. Like, at some point, you could be driving across here and be like, "That's that cow. We're gonna eat that next year."
Yeah.
Like it is literally from
Yeah.
field to fork.
Oh yeah,
now.
it's right. I mean, they're just right out here.
Yeah, which is awesome. So as far as from like a lodging standpoint on the hunting side, how many folks can y'all handle at one time?
So we can accommodate up to 30 at one time. We have 8 rooms here at the lodge. Each room has 2 queen beds, so that's 16 here at the lodge, and then the bunkhouse has 14 full-size bunk beds.
Wow,
So
that's a ton of people,
yes,
and I'm sure y'all can feed them all.
yes.
And then,
Yeah.
have y'all had a crew like that come in here? And
Oh
it's-
yeah, several times a year.
Okay.
So-
And a lot of these folks come back multiple times
Oh
a year.
yes, we have one group. This is my 3rd hunting seasons, and they've been here. They've got their 3rd trip coming up for me being here, but they were coming before I
Yeah.
started, and they usually bring 30, 32. We have some groups that they'll put some people up at the hotel in town. Colette has a guest house. Depending on the group, they are
Wow.
allowed to use that guest house.
So there's nothing y'all can't handle, basically.
If we can kind of stay in the 30 range, we can accommodate, but
Yeah. Because it's a lot of work. And there's a lot of staff here.
Yes.
Right? Like we have people for everything,
Yes.
but it's still a lot of work
Yes.
behind the scenes
Yes.
that like everyone just comes in and eats and hunts and takes off, and then it's a whole mess of a day of cleaning up
Yes.
and getting
Yes.
everything
Then
squared
the
away.
cleaning ladies have to turn everything back over, and they're good. So
Yeah, they're extremely good. And then sometimes it's hunters on top of hunters. Like
Yes.
how does that work? Because even yesterday, I believe we had hunters come in the morning, stayed
Mm-hmm.
for lunch, but then we had hunters show up at lunch, so we had like a
Yes.
feast
Yes.
at noon with 20 people.
We have overlapping groups, and usually everybody's pretty accommodating. We have some people who they specifically want to have the lodge to themselves,
Okay.
and they'll pay for every room.
Awesome.
And there may be two to 4 people.
Yeah.
But most people, they understand that we've got multiple groups coming in.
Yeah.
We try to make sure things are separated the best we can.
Yeah.
But
So
we don't mix hunting groups. Like we don't put a couple random people with a couple random people.
Yes, I was
Like,
just fixing to say that because like
So, we keep everybody kind of separated.
the
in their
lodge is the
groups.
center, right?
Yes,
So like we're in the
yes.
center of the lodge,
Yes.
dining and the kitchen's back there, but then it branches
Yes.
off into wings.
Yes.
So you could have one whole side of the
Yeah.
lodge with folks.
We
and
try to
complete-
keep people
yeah.
separated and kind of in their groups, and
Yeah.
and they have to kind of come together here at the lodge to eat and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. But as far as whenever it comes down to the hunting, everybody's kind of broken off into their groups.
Yeah, and hunters are hunters. They're sociable people.
Yeah,
anyway.
they don't. Most people don't mind.
Yeah, there's
So-
a lot of networking that gets done.
Yes.
in these.
Yeah, because we have big businesses and companies come
Yep.
out here, and some of them know each other, and
Yeah.
some of them come because the other people told them, and so
Yeah, there's been multiple guys that have come in Because some of the bigger companies will sponsor this trip, right? And they'll send 10, 15 people down here.
Yes.
Well, then it'll be a guy with a group over here and a guy, and they're like, well, we work together, you know? Like, so then they're bringing both the groups together because they work together, but it was just different people that sponsored the hunt for them to be here.
Yes, we have businesses they'll bring clients out here, employees. They'll do it, you know, kind of as an incentive thing. That big group that we have coming in February it's an incentive for their customers, and so if they do so much in sales or whatever throughout the year, then they get to come on this trip.
Yeah. And then that's on them. Are they getting to hunt and do? So they're getting to hunt.
Yes.
They're staying at the lodge. They're getting fed a couple of meals.
Alcohol.
Yeah. That's included, right?
For that group, we bring in, we can rent poker tables, we hire bartenders, things like that.
Yes, so that's something else we probably need to talk about is the cantina.
Yes.
Which is on the lodge property, on the other side of the parking lot, on the hill, is a bar. Like it is legit a bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where everybody hangs out at night.
Yeah.
It's got a pool table, shuffleboard, bar top tables, a jukebox,
it's
speaker.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you walk in there because it's low light.
Oh yeah, it's like a bar scene.
Yeah, the only thing it's missing is a smoke-filled ceiling, you know, which is good that it's not that way. But you get in there with a group of friends, and you don't even feel like you're at the ranch anymore.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they get in there and they hang out all night.
They have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, good deal. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know y'all are staying busy, but I wanted to sit down and have a conversation and talk about all this stuff because there's a lot to offer.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot to do.
Oh yeah.
And I've got a lot of people to talk to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've got a lot of phone calls to get back to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Dustee.
Right.
I appreciate it.